Hi! In this video, through 4 steps, I will show you how to convert an idea or couple of samples into a full track in Ableton Live. And also, how do I make sure that I actually like the outcome? And I will try my best to explain my own artistic, compositional choices in my track making process. My name is Elena, I'm an Ableton certified trainer. I've been producing about 10 years, making my own music, but also teaching producers like yourself to get skills and confidence to finish more music. Exciting. In this video, I will use my new single Runway as an example. So how we went from this into this. Remember to subscribe because we are friends, at least I think we are. And let's get into it. So tip number 1 is the core. And what do I mean with core? We have some elements, like 2 to 3 elements that really work together. They are the core, the soul, the groove, the everything that makes the track what it is. Everything else around that is just there to support the core. Actually, with Runway, I was in a pub waiting for my friends. I had 1 hour waiting time. So I had a beer, I have some bag of crisps and my laptop. My friend has wanted me to make a song submission for Finnish Eurovision for a long time. So I thought, well, in this hour, I'm just gonna, put some Eurovision-y sounds together and I'm gonna make a track. So I started with some classic Eurovision sounds. As you can see in this point, there were some presets, there were some samples. That's absolutely fine. I had 1 hour time to create this, so I'm happy with how it sounded. The aim with these clips was that I created something that really made me feel something. So I started to see how they fit together. So example, the drum kit and the bass. Chord already makes you feel things. Very, very nice. Like, it's sharp, it's rhythmic, it has a good groove, and it makes you feel like, yeah, fierce. Synth pad. Yeah, that adds the EDM kind of dancey vibe that kind of lifts the mood up. Hook on the top of it. Don't be scared of exploring samples, presets, just kind of go with it and just put something out. And now, for the rest of this track making process, I need to make sure that nothing covers it or masks it. Like, I'm not adding too many layers. Everything that is added is just making it bigger, adding width, depth, all these things to kind of support what it is. That is what core is for. The core, the heart, the beat of the track. I'm so happy to tell you that this video is sponsored by DistroKid. So I use DistroKid all the time, and I used it to release this song Runway just recently. So one of my favorite functions is a thing called hyperfollow. So it's one link that contains every information that you want to tell about the track. It's fully customizable and you can add info about the song, maybe your music video, live performance video, all the links to all of the shops that the track is at. Because I love making music videos of my songs, is that they have a new function called DistroVid. So instead of uploading music, you upload video. Through DistroVid, you can upload your music video to different locations. It actually creates a Vivo account also for you. Here is an example of my music video uploaded there. And then it goes into example Vivo video, iTunes video, Tidal video, Amazon video, and DistroVid. So then I went to here, Apple Music, and there we go. You can see it here. How cool. DistroKid has been also super kind and given all my followers -7% off from your subscription. So go into the link down below and check that out. Thank you, DistroKid, for always supporting my channel. Let's go back into this video. Number 2 is arrangement. So after I created the core, so I started to kind of like play around with the clips and seeing what fits together. So example, we could have strings. bass, and maybe choir. So when I found clips that really fit together, I'm gonna go under the scenes and click capture insert scene. So it creates a new scene, and for me that is maybe a verse, a B section, a chorus, and this is how I kind of start fitting them together. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different scenes. This also allows you to kind of play with it instead of just kind of stuck in time. So if you go straight away to arrangement view, you can get very thinking about the outcome before you actually felt how it feels. After this, I recorded it just with the main recording, played it into arrangement view. I started cutting it, making sure that there's gaps where I want to add some drops, lifts, transitions, and then added also these markers on the top of the screen. So intro, verse, bridge, chorus, verse 2, bridge 2, chorus 2. This is how far I managed to do it in the pub in 1 hour. So after this, I had 4 days to finish Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So what I did is that I went home and I put this song into my studio computer. In the 4 days, I started to add more instruments. I started cutting things, layering, added more layers for the choir instead of that one sample that I found. I also added a lot of risers and lifts, something like this. I also added vocals. I actually, on the train back on the Thursday night, I wrote lyrics. So the next day I came home, I also added the vocals. Something that I used a lot of time, and I usually in arrangement use a lot of time, is making sure that intro is not too long. So often beginners create a very long intro. Have a purpose for the intro. Why are you introing? My purpose is to set the mood of this Eurovision-y vibe. So we have mood and very big mood, and then we narrow it down into this really dry and sharp verse. Mood. So this is storytelling, right? Lift. Setting the mood. Tension. Sharp. It brings the story in, but it's not too long. Okay, step number 3 is the details. And this is something that I can't highlight enough. I feel like when I started up, I would have just stopped my track making at this point. I was like, okay, I have the main ideas, I have lyrics, I have vocals, I have arrangement, so it must be ready now, right? But no, I feel like with experience, you start to realize that details and crafting is what makes it sound professional, full, finished piece. I like separating details into 2 groups. So we have dynamics and ear candy. So dynamics example would be adding auto filter into drums. So when we go from the chorus to the second verse, we want that dynamics to drop. So we have almost like a pause from the rhythm. So let's listen from here. A lot of energy. Minimum energy. Hymähdykset sitoo joka askeleen, mun vapaat hiukset. And you can hear the drums slowly building back up. So we're having something very loud, and then we're dropping it back up, and then we're gonna build it up till the last chorus. So that leaves the listener a lot of air and space to actually react to what's happening. And it doesn't like numb them, basically. Another things I do with dynamics is I have a high pass filter on the low group track, which has all the low elements of the track. And in the intro, I let them to be 8 bars or something. And then the last 3 bars before the drop, I'm actually filtering all the low end away. And then when the chorus hits, the bass, the kick, everything seems bigger and more stronger. Filtering low end off. Drop. So it's just a very very subtle dynamic change, but that creates so much detail into the track that actually matters. So ear candy is vocal details as well as effects that do not disrupt the flow or the message of the song, but they kind of lie on the background and making it subtly bigger and fuller. So example, so I have some harmonies and stuff on this track. So I cut one of them and added it into the first transition. So when you have the lift coming in, you can hear that runway, and even there is a tiny detail in it. So I went into the clip envelope, I went to mix, and then volume, and I actually I added this tremble kind of effect by adding some modulation. It's a little detail, but again, it makes an effect. Same thing is like for the main vocals, I added quite a lot of different type of backing vocals. So example, I have here, la, la, la. And it's a continuity from the actual lyrics. So I say a couple little steps and it goes dun, dun, dun. Little children skip. Dun, dun, dun. So it added that kind of storytelling factor that relates to the lyrics, but it also adds a little bit detail and change into the song, which I thought was really cool. They take time to create and craft and explore, but it's totally worth it. And it's like, if you feel still that it needs something, then just explore, use some time just to add some details, cut things, slice things, modulate things, add effects, play around with them and just see what happens. Okay, and the number 4 is the craft. So we already talked about patience and just like working through the details, and this craft is about that. So this means the patience of questioning what the track still needs and seeing through your insecurities and biases as a music maker and what that means. The skill of knowing when track is done comes with time, because the more you do it, the more you add details and stuff, you feel this like sense of ease as like, yeah, now it works. This is something that I wish I would have known earlier, is that you can practice getting that feeling already more as a beginner. And I think one of the key things for that is to be patient and actually give yourself time to finish and play with it. So again, when I was like, you know, more of a beginner, I would have probably stopped already after the arrangement. But now I use almost as much as time as I used in the beginning to create those clips and create the arrangement. Now I use as much time to create the details as well as create the dynamic changes, crafting the materials and the arrangement that I already created. What do I mean? Let's say that the song is kind of done, but I still have this little voice in my head that says, could it be still better? Be prey to kill your darlings to remove stuff. So what I do is I go through the groups or the tracks and I just do this. I mute things. If something doesn't work, mute things. So example, I had M voice 1 backing vocals that I did. And I thought they were quite sharp and really cool. M Voice 1 is an app that creates vocal artificially, but I actually had a lot more here, you can see, of backing vocals. I actually went through them and just cut them and had these little clips of snippets of them instead of using them all.
This is now my runway, a place I always should have been.
So you can see that I take so many takes on the take lanes. You can see all the different harmonies I created, and I had so many on them here. But in the end, only 2 of them was enough. And I would say I used maybe 2-3 days just to work on the vocals and the backing vocals. So it does take time. So when it takes time, don't be hard on yourself and think, oh, I'm just shit, I can't. No. Be an investigator. Use it as a puzzle instead of as a problem. It's not a problem. It's a puzzle that you need to solve. Why does it not work? This is something I wish someone would have told me earlier, because that is what makes things good, is the craft. Use time to craft it, not just to create sounds. And the more you actually craft, add details, work on it, the faster you're going to get to the place where you are like, it's done now. It sounds good. So I didn't do the track in 4 days. Well, I did it, but like the crafting happened in 2 months, as well as mixing and mastering, of course. Check out Runway from the link down below if you want to hear the full song. The discussion continues in Patreon, in my Discord. Amazingly loving community where you get challenges every single month. You can improve yourself, your confidence, and finishing more tracks. Here are my lovely, lovely Patreons who are already challenging themselves and improving their skills and their confidence in the community, my squirrels. Anyway, subscribe. See you again and love ya.